Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Always so happy to find you here. I do upload on Mondays and Thursdays, and then on Fridays as short philosophical Friday upload to kick off our weekend. Welcome to any new subscribers. I hope you stay for a good long time and bring a friend with you next time. Prior to my uploading or beginning to record this video, I had determined that I wanted to revert back to the number of videos that I've already done previously on this one topic. And there have been quite a few. And I wanted to look at the catalog of my talk on this topic. And it had been consistent. It had been various different illustrations, but of a consistent truth, of a defiant response to a truth that fell on a person, I would say. And the markings of what looked like or felt like or seemed like to us as karma. And I had done several of those videos. And I had determined that all I was going to do for this talk was to drop them in the description box as a point of reference for us. It just kind of reflect back with me as to what I said then and isn't it happening now in various different genres of public notice, I'd say, from the Kings of Comedy Karma, from the Katt WIlliams talk to what's going on with P. Diddy. Prior to that, the Me Too movement, the falling and disgrace of all of those actors that were, and I shouldn't say actors, but celebrities that seem to have fallen from grace because of the Me Too movement. Well, no, that wouldn't be true. It would be because of their ways, and the Me Too movement presented those ways. The R. Kelly, the Bill Cosby, the Harvey Weinstein, the slap with Will Smith and Chris Rock. What's going on with Steve Harvey? All of this, I don't need to recount it. I'm going to drop it in the description box. And for your convenience, I'm going to drop it in the comments section. So you can just click them and see. But prior to my doing this, out comes the verdict, the 34-count guilty verdict of Donald Trump. 34 counts of falsifying business records to cover up money that he had paid a porn star. And to also, so that's one, but to also influence, well, they use the word influence, the outcome of the 2016 presidential election. And he's found guilty on every count. So that really solidified my piece for today, my talk for today, in which I wanted to reference back the ego falling, the falling of the gods, the demonstration behind me, even on the backdrop, where you see David slewing Goliath, the bringing down of the ego. And why that's so very crucial to me is I have shared many times before how delicate you have to be with the ego, how you have to wear your velvet gloves around it, how you have to be careful with positional power, how they can destroy you and your career for being in the way of them and their wrong. All of this, what I call nonsense, is all coming to light now. So, and it's being presented in such a way that it is undeniable. So having said that, I again want to categorize what we're all seeing. And it's coming one after another, after another, after another. In the same way that I've said all these videos ago, I'm going to actually read the video by titles because I'm even surprised myself that I have talked so much about this. What we are seeing are three things that happen when the ego falls. What I say falls, like is being arrested, like Goliath is, the coming down of Goliath, the dealing with the God of a person, not just the ego, but the God of the bringing it down. I did a video on Quiet on the Set with Dan Schneider and how he was. I mean, they just feel self-righteous to touch children. Anything is fair game, is what I'm saying. There's no boundaries. Well, a God doesn't feel it needs boundaries. Are your correction. It has to fall and destroy itself on its own sword, or on a sword better than their own sword, which is the one of David. So having said that, my thoughts are that we are watching, hearing, seeing, observing the collapse of humanity for not caring for it properly in the first place. Now, I know that sounds way out there, way worldly and all that, but when it comes to certain topics like politics and religion, I've never had a full-on talk about either of those topics. It just happens to be that Donald Trump was once our president. So beyond that, I'm not getting into politics. I'm specifically deriving to tapping into the ways of the person, the egoistic, the power trip of the person, the positional power, the demand. They just can't take no for an answer. This is why P. Diddy, before the video came out, oh, she's lying on me. And the fervency of attack that he had, that everyone was lying, and oh my gosh, I would never. And it was true all along. So to me, it's a falsified fight. It's unnecessary. It is a straight mentriosa, straight lie. And they've lived it so long, they now embrace it as their truth. What happens when you embrace an ego as your truth, an inflated ego as your truth, a wrongdoing to others as a passerby? It's okay. What ends up happening before you get hit with a long, drawn out season of karma and dark night of the soul before the fall of your sword? Is your own ways begin to abandon you. You are now swinging relentlessly on you. You fighting you. That's the disturbance of it all. That's the denial of it all. That's a Goliath won't go down easily. They'll fight. You have to almost pierce the soul of a Goliath and force them to stop. And even then, if they rise too soon, if you give them the leverage to rise too soon, they'll go right back to the habit, thinking they got away with it. Well, see, this is nonsense. This is why so much is going down. And if we haven't really observed closely, there's no reason why you or I or anyone who is paying attention to these documents of destruction, I'll say. There's no denying the truth. The truth is not going to entangle itself with you. It's just going to let you fall on your sword because, see, now you're tired. And all it takes is a blow after a blow to get you down. as in Donald Trump today. So again, I'm not talking politics. I'm talking about the situational awareness. Like the situation and got awareness in his life. And the same for P. Diddy, and the same for Steve Harvey, and all these names I previously said. When we get to the heading of karma, so these are my words. I call it karma. I call it entering in the tunnel of the dark night. So you're not getting out of that until it's finished. Now let's just juxtapose that with our own lives. Just we're everyday people. We're not celebrities, and at this point, I don't think I'd ever want to be. Well, my life is pretty balanced, so I got that ego in check. But let's just say we're just everyday people, and karma is making its way around. It's paying visits, I'll say. When we have done such deeds so dirty for so long, not on this magnitude of a God, but cheating on a spouse, repeatedly cheating on a spouse, ignoring a righteous love partner, losing that, falsifying records on your own job, all of the little things we think we thought we did starts coming back. We begin to enter into that same dark night of the soul. There's no way around it. Now, people want to say being kind is just a weak thing. I beg to differ, because all of a sudden kindness has become a commodity. Virtue has become valuable. Charity has become quite attractive because now it really is rarefied. So I'm not going to have a lot of data and input for this because I've done many talks on it. So I guess I'm saying what I saw in my own catalog, and that is, didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I call it? And so let me read. Let's see if I have pulled up. I don't know, some reason my studio is a little warm today. Let's see if I could read some of the ones I'm going to drop in the description box. Some of y'all don't read that description box. I'm gonna also drop it in the comment section. And go check these things out. These things, meaning my videos I've done for you. So about a year ago, I did one called Dark Things Coming to Light. An apology with Will Smith when he slapped Chris Rock, and also when he almost doomed or did attempt or had some input into the dooming of Janet Hubert's career. And she played Aunt Viv on Fresh Prince of LA. That was a year ago. 5 months ago, I did 2 parts on ego and positional power. Those I really encourage you to check those out. Ego and positional power. Now, would you think that Donald Trump has ego and positional power? Yeah, so check that out. 4 months ago, I did the one on Kings of Karma, and I juxtaposed the fairy tale fable Humpty Dumpty. So if Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, and all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again, I said, who is Humpty? Humpty has to be the king himself, because it was a great fall. And all the king's horses, all the king's men came after Humpty to put him back together again. Humpty himself is the king. Positional power, ego, the top of the game. Humpty is the king. Because if Humpty wasn't the king, why would all the king's horses and all the king's men go for him? All of them? Everyone, according to this, every one of them went looking for Humpty. Because the king carries value, whether he's in a weakened state or he carries value, he carries secrets, he carries truths. He carries animosities. He carries the dark things. So they need that king. Even in Donald Trump and P. Diddy. So they go out to get the king. So that one I did 4 months ago. 3 weeks ago, I did one called Steve Harvey Denying His Karma. And then a week ago, I did the one on P. Diddy. So all of these I'm referencing are the positional power of a fallen god or a fallen king or a person out of control with their ego because they've not heard the word no. And anyone who tells them the word no are no longer close enough to that person. All of that. So take a look at some of these videos, and I have discussed that, and I think I'm going to continue because we are certainly in a season of karma watching, humanity collapsing to some degree or another, and reckoning, reckoning, and making us recognize our own ways, which are abandoning us because they don't even want, they're so dark. Our own ways don't want to be a part of the darkness. And so take a look, see, and hope you enjoyed it. And if you've gotten this far, please click subscribe. Click like first and then click subscribe. I'll see you next time. Hopefully on a more, I want to get to some happy topics. This karma can be heavy, but karma can be real and true. And I think we're all witnessing it. And a lot of people personally are reaping it and witnessing it as well. So just let karma have its way and don't deny it. Embrace it. Let it flow. If you gotten this far, please click subscribe. I'll see you next time, and I love you. Bye.